News coming out today that Marko Arnautovic is not in the squad for the Bournemouth game tomorrow. He was due to be on the bench. Pellegrini didn't have him in training yesterday, involved in the pattern build-up, as Lee Clayton called it. So obviously Pellegrini's got his first 11 working together, especially the attacking side of it. Marko Arnautovic wasn't involved in that. But he was due to be on the bench. He was due to be in the squad to go to the Bournemouth game, etc. And it's just come out now that he's not doing that. Apparently his head's not in the right place and he's not in the squad at all. A little bit of contradicting rumours. Some saying the China thing's not going to happen. The club aren't going to pay the money for him. But on Talk Sport, which is probably through his brother, I mean, it's quite clear that that's where Talk Sport's links are coming from now, because they've originally broke the China deal thing and they've had his brother on Talk Sport. So now they're saying that the move to China is very much still a possibility, etc. But it's got to the point now that, you know, I did a video on the other channel where Gonzo will be uploading his view on this news. So after you watch this one, head over there and watch it. The link's in the description below. I did a video on there last night, went up today, about I don't want to see Marko given a new contract, and that was before all this. Totally different now. I want him gone. I think this is too far now. This is Payet's situation. This is player power. 2 years ago, Mark Noble said this club ain't run like a circus. Now since then, it's been run nothing like a circus. Nothing but a circus. He got it wrong, but it's to now you can take that phrase he used and apply it. Pellegrini's changed the process at West Ham United. He's changed the thinking, the attitude, the professionalism even has changed since the summer. Since Pellegrini's come in, everything just feels much improved, much more professional. And this is the first instance we've seen of player power here since Pellegrini's been here. Now, I am a firm believer that the reason that Bilic got sacked is because a few players down tools. Well, you can argue whether Bilic was up to the job or not, but I still think a few players down tools and stopped playing for him, and it got him pushed out the door sooner rather than later. And I don't think everybody fully got behind David Moyes. Now, whether I didn't like David Moyes, you tuned in from the last season, you know I was never a big fan of him. But it doesn't mean the players shouldn't be playing for him. It doesn't mean the players should be hanging him out to dry. And I think they did that to the previous two managers. Pellegrini won't let that happen to him. He's far too good a manager. He's far too big a manager for that to happen. And West Ham United are far too big a club to let any player hold them to ransom. Marko Arnautovic, he has to go now. It's got to the point now, though, that this is just driving down his transfer fee. What's the club supposed to do? We cannot win from this situation. Do we demand 45 million? What happens if they don't pay it? What happens if they say 35 million, take it or leave it? We can't really leave it, can we? We cannot have an unhappy Arnautovic here, because it's happened for this game. What happens if it happens next week, the week after that? We've now got a player on 90 grand a week refusing to play for the club. He needs to go. His attitude's turning, I don't want to say toxic. I don't know what it's like in the training ground. Maybe the players still like him and have sympathy for him. I don't know. But we cannot have this in the squad. We cannot have this in the club. He has to be sold ASAP, in my opinion. My big worry here is the Chinese transfer window is open in February. Our transfer window shuts in 2 weeks. It's just under 2 weeks now. It's a Thursday night, so 13 days left of the transfer window to get someone in to replace him. We need Arnautovic sold ASAP so we can get someone in. The last thing I want to see is our transfer window shuts, and then in February we are looking over our shoulders, panicking that we've got Marko Arnautovic here, and a Chinese club comes in with money and turns him, and he goes, and we can't replace him. We cannot allow that to happen. The West Ham are in control of it right now to an extent. Marko Arnautovic is trying to remove that control from our hands. I think it's important we grasp that control, and we need to get him out. It's all very well saying play hardball, let him sit in the reserves, refuse to let him move. There's no point in that. It's bad for business, because in the summer, we do that. In the summer, he'll be worth 20 million at the very, very most. We have like I said, Mourinho called him a man-child. We will have a man-child at the club for a few months. There's no point to that. I think we've got to get him out. He's been extremely disrespectful to West Ham United. It's disappointing to say, but it's not surprising. He's been doing this his whole career, if you like, at different clubs. We have to remember how he got to West Ham. This is what he did at Stoke City. A leopard doesn't change his spots, and it's taken him 18 months at West Ham for us to see the real Marko Arnautovic, the real his brother, his influences, if you like. Now, he's a fantastic player. He is a brilliant. I'm not going to change it now and say he's rubbish, etc. He is a fantastic player. He's our best striker when everybody's fully fit. I think he's in the top 3-4 players when everybody's on top of their game. I'd be disappointed to see him go. I like him, but he's not bigger than West Ham. He's not our most important player. He's not our most valuable player. Declan Rice and Issa Diop are the two players that we need to keep a hold of, and Lanzini. Them three are going to be playing in 3 years' time. Marko Arnautovic, probably won't be playing Premier League football in 3 years' time, even if he was to stay at West Ham United. This is just a sad end to what was a fairy tale 2018 for Marko Arnautovic. But his time's up at West Ham. I don't think we'll see him again in a West Ham shirt. That wave when he was going off the pitch, we all thought he was waving goodbye to the home fans because we don't have a home game again until February. It looks like he's waving goodbye to the fans full stop. I'm not sure we'll see him again in a West Ham shirt. But sorry Marko, time's up. West Ham, do your best to get as much money as you can for him. He's got to go.